Okay, if my battery dies again and I disappear, Your Excellency Doreen, please continue where I left off with following up and informing individuals accordingly. Yes? And Your Excellency, Golden Eagle, lend your voice to the discussion that I will be sharing with if I go off again this evening for me, please. All right. Pleasant good evening, class of Steele, and this is the link for this evening. It's in the chat, the link for this evening's class. This evening's class, I want to talk about monetizing your project, your organization, what you're doing, monetizing. It's very important. And the reason why it is very important is because a lot of individuals have been doing things for years, and even to this very point, they have not gotten to a stage where they're able to properly collect fees or commissions or offerings or donations or whatever. So it is very critical to have a level of prudence when it comes to your financial increase. Very important. As a matter of fact, I think sometimes our culture creates an environment where we're so comfortable just getting by that we never implement measures for sustainability. All right, we're comfortable getting by, so we never implement measures for sustainability. If you are going to be in an environment where you're going to be responsible for stewardship of currency, you have to give a wise account for that stewardship or of that stewardship. And I want this evening to share some thoughts about doing that because it's important as you go forward. Doreen owns a company in Africa, and Doreen herself, Her Excellency Doreen, finds it very difficult getting paid a lot of times because of the dynamics of currency flow, how money works, how you can engage it, what type of accounts you need, what type of banking institution you need to be with. All of these dynamics create frustrations, vexations, and conflict. And interestingly, what I will share with you this evening is those dynamics are actually designed to do exactly what they're doing, which is to frustrate you and cause you to give up and put you in an environment where the resources from your land are taken and your payment cannot reach you. Are you with me? I want to take you on this very important journey with me this evening because this is important for all of you. A lot of individuals spend so much time fighting. I need this money. I need this currency. I need to get it. But the truth of the matter is you're so focused on getting it that you're not focused on how is it going to truly get to you. Are you with me? You're focused on getting it, but you're not focused on how is it going to get to you. The currency has to reach your account. It doesn't make no difference how much somebody promises you a grant, a loan, finances, resources. It makes absolutely no difference how sincere they are. What changes the dynamics are, one, is it able to reach your usable hands? That's number one. Is it able to reach my usable hands? Can I use it? Can I touch it? Can I have it? Can I feel it? Two, is it able to reach me in a timely manner? What is the time frame that it's going to take to reach you. And then the most important point of all, number 3, the most important point is the structure I have in place able to manage it? Are you with me? Is the structure I have in place able to manage it? Because managing it means that you're going to give an account of stewardship of those resources. So it is very important. Now, a lot of organizations are not registered. They're not registered. That's the first point. They're not registered. Is your organization registered? I don't care if you've been doing it for 30 years and you could show on paper and on books, I've been doing this for 30 years. Doesn't matter. What matters is, are you registered with your government? That's important. Second thing is, are you registered with the Financial Services Commissions or whatever you have to deal with your banking institution? Are you registered? Do you have a working bank account? A lot of individuals, saints in Africa, as I could bring Nigeria, where they're being the BVN, which is the bank verification number. A lot of individuals had accounts. But since they bring the changes where you have to use a BVN, how many of you know a lot of individuals lost their accounts? Are you with me? They lost their access to those accounts because they don't have BVNs. And there are millions of naira sitting in accounts that individuals will never have access to again. Why? Because the regulation continually changes. And if you are not up to date with the changing dynamics of the regulations or the regulators, you're going to find yourself in problems where you cannot possibly engage your resources or your funds. So it is important that you're registered. Now, once you're registered with and you have your bank account, you have to look at the structure of your business. Am I looking at local business? Because you see, if you're looking at local business, your structure for local is going to be very different than your structure for international. It's not one shoe fits all feet. Are you with me? It's not one size fits all. You're going to have to understand the dynamics of, am I being regional, local, or international? If you're looking at your, for example, a lot of there are ministers that are in our audience, and there are government officials that are in our audience. A lot of individuals are at the place where they've been working, they've been saving their monies, and they're just local. They're just local. Now, if you're looking at becoming international, you have to upgrade. You're going to have to upgrade your accounts. For example, in Africa or in Nigeria, I'll speak a little bit about Nigeria and my banking situation. I have a local bank, which has a local bank account in Naira, but I also have a domiciliary account, which is in GB pounds. My domiciliary account is GB pounds, or you can have one for US currency. How many of you are aware of what I'm talking about? Are you with me? And if you want to do international business, your local account has restrictions on it that will hinder you. And there will be a challenge to you. So you need to be in a position where you understand what are the dynamics conducive to my success with regards to dealing with my business. Okay. The next point that you have to look at is the persons that you're doing business with. When you start business with any organization or any individual or company, look at, how do I get paid? How am I going to get paid? The reason why you are doing business is because you are expecting to be remunerated. That is expected in your business dealing. How am I going to be remunerated? Because if you don't know how you're going to be remunerated, then you're just positioning yourself to be winging it. For example, there are lots of individuals who do not work with some countries. Let me give you a few reasons why they do not work with some countries. They do not work with some countries because they do not have the ability to engage their finances. It is not in place. The structure to receive their finances or the structure to exchange currency is not, it's not there. It's not in place. So it makes doing business a headache, a nightmare, and it's very expensive. So a lot of individuals are not able to properly engage opportunities because of one key reason is they do not have a proper structure in place to be paid or to be remunerated. It's not in place. So look at that. For example, some countries, when they're working, especially with some European countries or some Western countries, they have to look at the hoops to jump through so that money gets into places. Are you with me? They have to look at a lot of hoops to jump through to get the currency into the regions they need it in. A lot of regions are still operating on a cash basis. Oh, you need to pay us cash, because if you can't pay us cash, then we can't do business. And they have to turn away a lot of business. And there are persons in the West and in Europe that are thinking, wait a minute, how comes these companies have been running for 15 and 20 years and they don't have a policy in place for acceptably, and I use the word acceptably, receiving currency? And some of the reasons for those things are, a lot of you have inherited companies and corporations that are just business names. And you just were doing flyers and brochures that look good. And everybody in the community have known Joe Blogg's company. You know what I mean? But Joe Blogg's company isn't real. How many of you get what I'm trying to say? Wave at me if you get what I'm saying. I want you, come on, I'm talking to us. I'm talking to us so that we can grow together and we can understand some of the problems. Joe Blogg's company is not real. Oh, but of course Joe Blogg's company is real. He's been doing business for over 30 years. Look, everybody buys from Joe Blogs. Everybody comes and pays him cash and does business. But Joe Blogs does not have a bank account. Joe Blogs does not have a registered company. Are you with me? Joe Blogs buys everything cash. He buys his cars cash. He buys his houses cash. He buys his furnishings cash. He has so many security because if you go into Joe Blogs' backyard, it might shock you what you will find in his little secret place where he stores all of his cash. So is Joe Blogs a good man to say, oh, this man is very wealthy. He has 15 cars and he has houses and lands. He's a good man to do business. He's a wealthy man. But he might be wealthy, but he might not be a good man to do business with. Why? Because what is necessary and conducive to doing business, he doesn't have it in place. If you're traveling on a flight, you are allowed $10,000 US or currency of your local currency, 10,000. If you're coming to buy a car from someone to ship to another region, and that person says to you, oh, you have to come with cash. So you have to travel with $25,000 or $30,000 in cash. How many of you know you're not going to get many people from this side of the world to do business with? If you get what I'm saying. You're not going to find many people that are, because everybody, as soon as you tell them that, here's the first thing that they're thinking about. Oh, everybody knows I'm coming to buy that land or that property and I have to come with cash. What's the first thing that goes through anybody's mind? Kidnapping. You are a liability now because you're coming there and they know you have cash. So you're in trouble. And by the time you get to where you are going to be dealing with the cash, you have somebody that is driving you, taking you there that knows you have cash. I hear the conversation. Josh, please, please.
Down. See?
You have somebody that is. Just give me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second, please. I'm sorry about that. My apologies. So immediately you have the person in the car discussing them. You know, how much money can you give me? You know, I'm driving you a long way and this is costing me. And you have conversations that scare individuals. This is why Africa and some regions, they don't have successful business. I'm teaching you in the class of Steele how to be globally relevant. Because individuals, all of a sudden, they're driving with this big bag, and you know that it's full of US, because that's the only way you can get the deal done. It's full of US. So that person is now in trouble. That person doesn't trust you. That person doesn't trust anybody. Why? Because the fear that the person has is in their currency. Are you identifying with what I'm sharing here? Are you identifying with me? You have 5 people at the security checkpoint that know you're doing a deal and you're bringing somebody with some cash. If I'm supposed to be recommending any person from the class of Steele, you have to be equipped. You have to be relevant. You have to have your bank accounts. You have to be able to do your transactions. You have to be able to have persons show up with a piece of plastic. And when they show up with this piece of plastic, they have to feel comfortable with a piece of plastic. They have to know that when I show up with my plastic, I am not going to be in trouble. Are you with me? So those are important things that we need to be in place with. A lot of you need to set your sites up with online payments. Oh, I don't want to do this online payments. I don't trust online. It's so fraudulent. It's so difficult. And it's so many problems. Oh, it's so challenging. They rob your money. That's not true. They rob you when you show up with one of these. That's when they rob you. When you show up with one of these full with money, currency, they rob you. When you show up with 3 or 4 of these, there's no value to them. Are you hearing me? Are you with me? Reverend Bright, let me ask you a question, Your Excellency. Reverend Bright, do you have a website that you can take online payments?
Not yet. We are working on it.
Reverend Bright, how long have you been in ministry?
This is my 30th year.
Reverend Bright, how long have you been taking donations from members in your congregation?
Yeah, let's say 20 years.
20 years.
As per offering, but not any donation special.
It's okay. I'm not putting you on the spot.
Yes, sir. Yes, no.
It's okay. Olukoya, Your Excellency Olukoya, you an architect for how many years?
About 17 years.
17 years. Do you have an online payment where somebody could go on your site or whatever and make payments to you?
Yes, I have.
Well done. I want to ask you a question. Has it caused you to be more confident knowing that you can tell your clients that they are able to make transactions online easily without any troubles? Has it done any value to your business from a cash business to an online business? Has it added value to you? How has the transition been for you?
Yeah, it has added. I can't remember when last I collected cash. I can't remember.
So it has been really
and it has
good.
given clients confidence to just wire any amount to my account.
Have you ever had troubles with monies that were wired to you that got stolen in between being wired to you from the person and to you? Have you ever had that trouble in your life?
Not once.
But
I've had problem with somebody trying to bring money to me and then stories. Yes. He said that something happened, so he had to take out of it to use, and he will refund later.
what am I trying to say to us? I really want us to get it. I want us to get it. There are things in life that cost you. You have to pay for those services. They cost you. But the cost that you put out for your safety and the cost that you put out for advancing your cause and for making your clients more comfortable to do business with you, it pays off in the long run. Your Excellency, Doreen, you run a travel agency and a company. How many times have you had to turn down business or get frustrated because persons were not able to pay you as you expect? How many frustrations have you experienced from it, Your Excellency?
Because persons had failed to do what? I beg your pardon, Your Excellency.
How many times have you had frustrations in your business because persons did not have bank accounts where they can wire money or whatever, they could only get cash to you? How much headaches have that caused you over the years that could have been avoided if they were in a banking facility that they could have transferred or wired monies to you easily?
The frustration I have had with that one is that they never meet the deadline of payment because they have to go and, first of all, they are very busy to go and get the money from probably where they've kept it to bring it to me. So it is usually late payment. That's the frustration I have gotten. But payment online is okay. Yeah, I've done several payments online through the agency.
Okay.
And they're instant.
I'm going to say this to you. The class of Steele, I have been looking for a solution, because remember this, anytime you are dealing internationally, you have to find solution. So write that word down.
Yes.
What is the best solution? Write it down. What is the best solution to manage my money? So for example, let's say you want to work with Dubai. Let's just use an example. We're just going to pull an example out of the air. You want to work with Dubai. You want to do business with Dubai. I'm going to challenge you, Your Excellency Adiola. I'm gonna pick on some individuals. Your Excellency Adiola, if you're going to do a financial transaction with Dubai, what's the first thing you think you need to know?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you, Your Excellency.
Very much, sir. I think the first thing I need to know is how I'm going to do that, because I know that definitely I can't use my Naira account to do that. So it's either I have a dollar account, and with the policy and with the Nigeria policy and things, transferring from Nigeria, to Dubai may be a challenge for me. So I just have to get somebody, maybe in another country, who can do that for me.
Okay, you jumped ahead in my message. You jumped ahead. No. You did it well. You did well. You answered very correctly. That's why His Excellency Olusogun is smiling, because he knows. My wife can answer now. She knows. You answered correctly. Here is the thing that I want to bring out, because you jumped ahead of me. I see the golden eagle is smiling. So here is the thing. Here is the thing. One, you need to understand what are the financial institutions' thoughts with the relationship between Nigeria and Dubai. You need to have a sense of it. You have to. If you're going to do business with any country, as a matter of fact, if somebody calls me from Russia and says, hey, Dr. Steele, I would like to start a consultancy firm with you. I want you to be a consultant for us. The first thing that I'm going to say is, okay, sounds interesting. And when I hang up with them, I'm going to go online and I'm going to study what is the financial implications of the United Kingdom working with Russia. Are you with me? Because I want to know what sanctions are in place, what restrictions are in place, all of these little dynamics. I'm not talking about the simple dynamic of Visa and MasterCard. Visa and MasterCard are to some degree universal. So when you have Visa or MasterCard, there's not a problem. Visa and MasterCard makes transacting in business very easy, not a problem. But when you're talking about transferring money and making big, large transactions in deals, you have to look at the dynamics of business at that level. Okay, the next thing is, like you just mentioned, between Nigeria and Dubai, as a matter of fact, I think between Nigeria and most of the world, I think they say Nigerians are too rich. Let them keep their money in their country and make it hard for them to get it out. That's what the world is doing, squeezing your money, squeezing it and keeping it in your country. That's what they're doing. So you buy cars, you buy all of these things that you can do around in Africa, except, but they make it challenging for you. Now, the next thing you do that's very important is partnerships. Partnerships. A lot of individuals do not understand the value of building relationships of integrity, partnerships. So the next stage of of going forward is if there's a problem with my country transacting with another country, how do I get to transact if I need to do business? Well, in order to transact, you need partnerships, the right type of partners. Partners that are going to trust you. Partners that you are also going to trust. Because if you cannot find a partner, how many of you know you're not going to have a successful business relationship in another country? And when you look at partnership, how do you look at partnership? Are you looking at a partnership to close a transaction? One transaction. Or are you looking at a long-term partnership that you are going to build a long-time relationship with? Might I suggest, if you're going to do any kind of business partnership, make sure it is a long-term partnership. Do not do deal relationships. A lot of times individuals just do deal relationships, and when the deal is finished, sometimes they get robbed. Sometimes the person doesn't fulfill their commitment. How many of you get what I'm saying? Because there's no commitment to a relationship. There's just a commitment to a transaction. So you form relationships. Doreen is our COO in the class of Steele. Her Excellency Bishop Comfort is responsible for our Monarchs of Africa in the class of Steele and what we do. But beyond that, I trust them explicitly when we're going to look at dealing with business. I trust them. Why? Because we have relationship. If you don't have relationship with someone, then you will just have a transaction and it is subject to going bad. And when the transaction goes bad, then you lose a friendship and you lose an opportunity to be successful in the country. So let's look at some things. Let's say me and Olukoya decided, Your Excellency Olukoya, I'm going to work with you in Nigeria and I'm going to give you the authority to open a class of Steele in Nigeria because you and I are tight. And you can use my name. I'm comfortable to say you can use my name. The reason why people do not do that easily is because some individuals do not have integrity. Some individuals will take a 6 for a 9. How many of you have ever heard that statement before? A 6 for a 9. Oh, look, you could go and register the class of Steele, and because it's my franchise, it's my business, and I'm gonna connect you to London, and you just have to make sure that you and I are on the same page. The minute that some individuals get that paperwork, hey, I've got what I needed. I now own the class of Steele in Nigeria. I'm the boss. All of a sudden, the mission statement changes. The terms and conditions change. The policies and procedures of the corporation changes. No longer do you have a head office where payments are made and you can follow a track record, but all of a sudden things are being done in cash and no accountability. Am I talking here? Come on, somebody, am I talking here? All of a sudden things have 10 different costs. In Ghana, it is supposed to cost $5, but in Nigeria, it costs $20. The same very service, the same very thing. And in London, it costs a total. What the heck is this all about? Come on, somebody, are you with me? Are you with me? Listen carefully. The franchise of the class of Steele is going to be all over Africa, but trust me, I hope all of you appreciate integrity. I hope you appreciate integrity. Because if any person calls me with anything that does not line up to what I say is the policy and the procedure of the class of Steele that is under my name, you will have problems. We have a challenge with individuals who do not understand how to follow procedure. All of a sudden you hear individuals, oh, do you know how hard it is to get a bank account? Do you know how difficult it is? Can I be honest with you? Let me be very honest with you. For us to get a bank account for one of our businesses here in the United Kingdom, I have a passport, a driver's license, birth certificate, everything, a company registration, everything. To get a bank account for a company has taken me almost 8 months. How many of you get what I'm trying to say? I'm talking to you. I really want you to get it. I want you to understand it. Because there are things sometimes that they need to be checked. There are things that need to make sure that you're doing the right business. They need to make sure you have the right people you're working with. They have to make sure you're not going to be doing drugs or you're going to be doing producing money for arms. All of these things, securities, come on, somebody. They need to check all of these things. That what are you doing with the money? Where is the money coming from? Is it legal? Is it legit? Are you with me? So it's going to take time. But it's going to be time well spent. When we went to open an account for one of our companies, we got an appointment to come in 4 months. I'm thinking, are you? Hello? I just want to open a bank account. Come on. What? I have people that are waiting to do business. What is this? Are you with me? I'm talking to you. The class of Steele and other organizations go through nightmares to get a company account. Let's go on. I want you to make sure you put all the effort in place to have the right accounts. Doreen, I'm equally going to say this to you. I want you and your management team to look at how can we get a proper payment structure implemented on our website. I need you to look at it. Yes, Doreen? Go ahead, Doreen. Talk to me.
Your Excellency, we are working on it. It should be up and running by end of this month.
How long?
We are working on it already.
How long was your company up, Doreen?
For the payment online, it has taken us really quite a long time since last year, because many banks were not giving us clear information. They say there's a code that has to be given by some IT company. We had so many companies that were giving us the offer. Some of them were not within the country, but we wanted to be able to if we get a payment online problem, we wanted to be able to have the suppliers of the software within our reach, not abroad. So it's just recently that we got a company that is able to give us the code for that can work with whichever bank that we choose to use, either Standard Chartered or Stanbic. So today I was informed today that now it's okay.
Okay.
But we've been working on it since I think 2019.
Doreen, I'm going to tell you something very interesting.
Yes.
Because you know we have our web hosting business and that's my area. That's my area, dealing with online. Anything to do with online is my business. Anything to do with online.
Okay.
Setting up and can I share with you one of the advantages of registrations and being with the right banks and all of this. One of the benefits is that you have access to online facilities quickly. They make it easy. The bank wants your money in it more than you want your money in your hands or your currency in your hand. Are you with me, guys? Come on, give me a wave if you're with me. The bank is more desperate to get your currency in its accounts than you want it in your hands. And the banks are tasked with doing everything possible to getting it into their accounts. You have your mobile phone, you have everything pertaining to getting your currency into the bank. None of you that are under my watch, none of you should be in an environment where you cannot take payments online. Olukoya, I want to commend you and make sure that you keep your structure in place where you do not have any problems online with your site. Golden Eagle, listen carefully to me, Your Excellency. Listen carefully. I want within the next 6 months to hear you telling me, Golden Eagle, guess what, Your Excellency? We have a website and it is online and we could receive donations and payments and I can get consultation fees online for my services. This is an expectation I have of you, Golden Eagle. And even if you don't show up for the classes within the next 6 months, I want to check in and find out, does the Golden Eagle have online facilities that I could send him a love offering or donation? Why? Because it's important to becoming globally relevant. Globally relevant is not getting on a plane and going to Nigeria or going to Africa or going to America. That's not global relevance only. Global relevance means that the resources of the world can get to you and from you. Do you understand me? That's what is global relevance. It means that you have the ability and the capacity to reach those on the outside, and those on the outside have the ability and the capacity to reach you. I'm going to say this to all of you again and again and again. Like I hammer on integrity, I'm going to hammer on something. Like I hammer on integrity all the time, I'm going to hammer on something. The most powerful, let me share this with you. The most powerful document you have in your life, the most powerful tool that you have in your life, I'm going to show them to you. Your passport, and if you drive, your driver's license, and if you are a citizen of a country, your national identification card. Have you heard me? Have you heard me? Everybody wants everything else. You want this, you want that. The most powerful start that you have that is easy for you to acquire is your driver's license and your government issued passport. And if you don't have a driver's license, your national identification card. A lot of individuals talk to me about, oh, how comes you are so this and you are so that? Because the documents that are the most important to me, no matter where I travel in the world, no matter what happens, I make sure those are safe and secure. Some of you are saying, oh, I'm so old, how can I find my birth certificate? Are you joking me? You need to know where your birth certificate is. And if you have lost your birth certificate or your citizenship certificate, you need to go and get another one and keep it in your at-hand file. Because it is important. I'm going to get ready to close this evening's meeting. You want to have currency in your hand. I've already spoken to you on what money is. So you know what? You know that all of you, how many of you agree that all of us have loads of money? How many of you agree? We have loads of money. If you've been in my teaching, you know what I'm talking about. Wave at me if you've got loads of money. Loads of money. Too much money. Money beyond measure. What we need now is currency. The transfer or the exchange of that money for currency. And in order to get it exchanged, you need to have, you need to go to some exchange bureau. And that's what a bank is, an exchange bureau. You have talent. Somebody's going to pay you for your talent. So what do? There's an exchange bureau between you and your talent and your customer. There's what is called the exchange bureau, a bank. It's your mobile phone. Come on, somebody. Your mobile phone can be your exchange bureau. Your piece of plastic, your exchange bureau. Your bank account, your exchange bureau. Are you with me? But you need your computer, your exchange bureau. I can call you. And by the way, for those of you who want to know about how can you pay your membership to the class of Steele, no one has to give us any dynamics or any issues. If you are in the class of Steele and you don't have a bank account, you are only doing cash, you're not even qualified to be in the class of Steele. You're not even got on the first stage. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. The class of Steele is about mentoring individuals who are becoming globally relevant. I'm in London. You're not going to drive to me and bring me a bag of naira. What is a bag of, somebody's going to come, hey, Bishop, I want to show you something. Bishop, hey, I want to show you what I have for you. And you go like this, and you open a bag and show me a bag full of naira. I'm going to say, you say, Bishop, this is yours. All of this, Bishop. Hey, what value is it to me? What value is it to me? It has absolutely no value to me. If I call you and I say, hey, Reverend Bright, I know exactly what I have for you. It is right here. This piece of plastic. Hey, Reverend Bright. Hey, it is right here. You don't have a bank account. And I'm not willing to go through any other hoops and loops to get it to you. You don't have a bank account. The only way I'm going to give it to you is the way you're going to give my money to me. How are you going to give my bag of money to me? You're going to do what? Put it in my hand. So you say to me, I'm going to put this in your hand, only your hand, no one else. This is only going in your hand. You must come and see me in person. So this is what I will say to you. I'm going to send something for you, but it's going into your account, only your account. No one else is going to be between me and you. How are you going to get it if you don't have a bank account? How are you going to get it? How am I going to get it if I don't have a flight ticket to come to Nigeria? How am I going to get it? But the class of Steele, we're not like that. If you have a piece of plastic and a bank account, I can get my fees and my donations and my contributions from you. As a matter of fact, I can call you on the phone and speak with you and just have one conversation. I tell you, don't worry, put it, give me the number. Yes, yes, yes. And it will go straight into the account immediately. Why am I sharing this information with you? All of you, I want you to be globally relevant. All of you. Don't look at me and think that I am reaching somewhere and I'm boasting. I am not boasting. I'm here telling you, you need to position yourself to be globally relevant. You need to be in an environment where a customer can ask you, send me your routine number and your IBAN or your SWIFT code, and you can be paid for your services. You need to understand the dynamics. A lot of people, oh, I want to work with somebody that I know. Listen carefully to me. There are institutions around the world responsible for your financial transactions. Do you think that they're sitting down looking at your 50,000 or your 10,000 or your 2,000 naira to steal it from you? There are people transacting billions and billions of dollars every day. How many of you get what I'm saying? Please build up if you get what I'm saying. I want you to become globally relevant. Those local, sometimes you have somebody that have a few servers in their back room that you want to do business with them. When their server goes down, what happens to your business? Oh, I know him. I can ask him to do me a favor. Please, if you're dealing with your currency, don't ask people to do you favors. Pay for the service you want to have, because you'll be sure that you will receive what you paid for. With that, I'm going to close, and I'm going to open to any questions in this evening's message. I will open to any questions. If you have any questions, you're free to ask me. Are there any questions? I see Zionist. Zionist, I want to welcome you this evening to the class of Steele. It's a pleasure to see you in the class of Steele. Just greet us and share your thoughts on this evening's class, please.
Oh, thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'm sorry I got in very late. I was trying to work out things technically, but I think I'm there now. And it's a pleasure to be in a class of Steele. And I've got my mentor, His Excellency Olukoya, and I will be letting myself on his heel to gain all the information relevant, transference information, to make me one of the very, very effective students of class of Steele. So patience with me, I'll catch up. I'll catch up, Your Excellency. And I'm very enlightened by all that I've heard today, and I'm encouraged. And yeah, I'll go back to my mentor and get my skates on and get going.
Thank you so very much. You're very welcome. And I want all of us in the class of Steele who have been with me for a while, they know I'm very passionate, but don't take my passion personal in light of how I come across. And equally, don't ever think I'm glorying in my position because I'm in the European and in Europe or on this side of the world. No, I always want you to be very mindful is that what Africa is more developed with technology than even Europe. I can tell you some things that a lot of you, sometimes you have individuals who are not exposed to the technology in Africa that think that Africa is backwards. Africa is absolutely not backwards. If you are seated at this level talking about being globally relevant and you don't have a bank account, you don't have online banking, telephone banking, you're behaving as if your country is retarded, as if your country is sitting down on its laurels doing nothing. Please, the international world knows better. I have a mobile phone. I'll tell you one update about your country. I have a Techno Phantom 8. How many of you know the Techno Phantom 8? How many of you know what I'm talking about? I have a Phantom 8. The technology in the Phantom 8 is better than most of the phones here in the UK. Even the camera is better. Wait a minute. I have a Techno Camon. Okay? I also have a Techno Camon. I made sure it's African. The technology in this phone is better than some of the technology here in the UK. What am I trying to say to you? Don't think that your country is shortchanging you. You have some of the best technology that is available to the world. You just have to utilize it and be confident in it. I want to have His Excellency Samuel also to give me his take on this evening's class. Your Excellency, the Golden Eagle, give us your take on this evening's class. I know it's been long-winded, but what is your take this evening, Your Excellency?
Good evening, the class of Steele. Your Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele, thank you for the opportunity given to me. Good evening, management staff of the class of Steele. I want to use this opportunity to thank all of us in the class tonight. That we are not in the wrong place, we are at the right place. And God is not tired speaking. I think if you want to hear thus said the Lord, I think you might not hear it in the class of Steele. But God speaks. God is still speaking. It might not come in the form of thus says the Lord. But what our mentor, Dr. Steele, just finished speaking is God speaking. So I see God talking through his lips, and it's just timely. And when we say prophetic, somebody wants to hear that God said, I said, no, but it's timely, and then is powerful, and I want to appreciate God for his life. To be globally relevant, very important. I think every ministry and every NGO, every business should think global. And then if you must be global, I think this very thing that our mentor just enumerated tonight is very important and very essential. Because what makes you global, from what he said, what makes you global? And then I've gained from what he said. What makes you global is your transaction with the global community. And your transaction with the global community involve money, involve discussion, involve so many things, online discussion, involve even social media. So many things we need to get ourselves engaged and involved if we must be globally relevant. I have gained so much tonight, but even church, at times we look at church as a religious body, and then we treat church as second class organization. And then when we are talking of business, we look at things different when we are talking about church. But the church herself needs to be globally relevant. We need to network with other organizations, network with other bodies, so that the church, in fact, these days, somebody can be in the United States and send offering to Nigeria, just like he said. Somebody can be in Nigeria and decide to send offering to your church in Ghana. And then that can only be done through the instrumentality of being relevant by by upgrading and be up to date in our accounting system, our international transaction. So I am touched, and I promise that I'm going to upgrade myself, because if you don't upgrade yourself, if you are not updated, you'll be outdated. So thank you. I want to remain updated. Even as a minister of the gospel, I want to remain updated. And then even as I'm not just doing preaching, we're also involved in small, petty business. I think we will upgrade so many things. Next time when I promise you, any one of us, if any one of us is coming to Nigeria, we are coming upgraded. You need upgraded things on ground. And then we will do business internationally. I think a time will come that we will get you from wherever you are to speak to us in Nigeria, even in our conferences. That is upgrading. Thank you so much, Dr. Steele. You are a blessing to us. You are a blessing to Nigeria. You are a blessing to Africa. And I tell you, you are a blessing to the entire world. God bless you. We are proud to identify with you. The Lord keep you for us, and the Lord bless you for us. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you so very much, the Golden Eagle. Come on, let's celebrate the Golden Eagle. So I always say, you always need a John when you have a Jesus. I will say that again. You always need a John when you have a Jesus, because there's going to be somebody saying, come see a man. And the Golden Eagle, you have honored me, Your Excellency. The class of Steele would never have existed without His Excellency Samuel Bright also, because he is one of the persons that saw the need of the people of Nigeria in Plateau State and around the regions who have a need to becoming globally relevant. And him and I put our heads together and decide, let's make it happen. And as a result of his efforts and his encouragement, and also the encouragement of Her Excellency Victoria Oke Dyer in her absence, and His Excellency Barrister Anthony Uweshia, they put their heads together and they said, let us make this work. And I want to celebrate the Golden Eagle for always being on hand to represent what he says he believes in. And he stands his ground. He is a man of integrity, a man of character, and I trust him and appreciate him in the class of Steele. Again, we celebrate you, Golden Eagle, and we look forward to the great things that are going to come out in Africa as a result of the class of Steele and what we're doing globally. I want to, in this discussion, I want to lean on one of our elders, His Excellency Daniel Saporu. Your Excellency, you're an elder, and I know that you've experienced a lot in your time. Please give your take on this evening's class. How has it been for you this evening, Your Excellency Daniel Saporu?
I want to greet you, Bishop Michael Steele, and I also want to greet everybody in the class. Thank you very much for this wonderful lecture. It has been an eye-opener, monetizing my ministry, for instance. And I know that my ministry is registered. I also know that we have some, internet banking. We have those, and but the fact is that we are not actually using them the way we should. I think that is it. You said a lot of things here that actually will make us know how to monetize our ministry or whatever we do. And we thank God for everything you have said. Well, I don't have much to say because what the previous contributors said are really relevant for what I can So what I'm saying is that, well, I have been 40 years in the ministry, and talking about being globally relevant, I would say that it is actually in this class that I know what it means to be globally relevant. Being globally relevant does not necessarily mean traveling overseas and so on and so forth. I have gone to some Western countries, even in African countries, but then it doesn't make me globally relevant. So, but what I have gotten from this class, right from the time I joined, has made me know what it is to be globally relevant. And I am working towards that, being globally relevant. You have talked so much about integrity, and I believe that that is one word that every one of us must have to be globally relevant. And we thank God for internet. We thank God for um, everything that goes through internet. We thank God for internet banking and all of these things. Obviously, it makes transactions very easy and simple, and we thank God for that. I remember there was a time somebody wanted to send money to me from the US, and he found it very difficult to do because I didn't have all those Swift code and so on and so forth, and it was terrible. But he managed to send it through somebody, and that is how it got to me. So what I'm trying to say is that what you have just shared is very, very important for any ministry and for any business. And I thank God that this is very relevant in what we are doing. So thank you very much for sharing, and thank you for being our mentor. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for your submission, Your Excellency. We appreciate you in the class because I appreciate the voice of our elders, because our elders show us what has been going on for a long time. Sometimes you think something is new, but it's not new. It's been going on for a very long time. And if you are going to be a part of the generation that is going to bring about the change, there are lots of things that you have taken for granted, or your elders have taken for granted. Oh, I don't have any account, so you have to say cash. You know, I need cash. You know, we are poor people. And then people have this opinion of Africa that is so bad that you need to change it. And that's your role, to change the mindset that individuals on my internet gone. Okay, am I back? Can everybody hear me? Okay. All right. Okay. So we have to change the mindset. Let's ask. I want to ask His Excellency Paul Ademba. Your Excellency Paul, please give your take on this evening's class, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency, Bishop Steele, and all the excellencies in the house. Yes, it is very important. The lecture you have given this evening is very good and very important, and we have learned from it. But then, all my life I have been in business before I was asked to go into the ministry full time. I have dealt with some banks and they closed, but that did not stop us from opening more accounts. But right now, if I have to deal with any country, I have to first of all check out what obtains in their account, in their monetary system. Because like in Nigeria, there are some other things that obtain outside that do not obtain here. Like for instance, I used to have a website. My website would accept PayPal, but suddenly they closed it because of the button that says donate. Then I started it again, they closed it again. The Muslims did it 2 times, so I stopped for now. But now it is a bit difficult getting wired money into the accounts in Nigeria, but you can transfer locally. For instance, now you cannot do Western Union from Nigeria, but you can receive. You cannot do MoneyGram from Nigeria, but you can receive. But in Uganda, you can do it. In Ghana, you cannot send out, you can only receive. But you can wire out money into the accounts. Like the one I used to pay the class of Steele, I was in Ghana, but I had to wire it into the account. Formerly, you could receive money directly into your account from the US or from any other place. But the government closed that down. You cannot. Now you have to go and clear at the bank to get the money. So they are making these dynamics a bit difficult for people in some countries. So it becomes imperative that when you have to deal with any country, you have to first of all find out if they can wire money into your account in Nigeria or anywhere. Otherwise, you have to use domiciliary accounts. I have had the domiciliary account for long, but even at the time, before you get money into your domiciliary account, it will take days. Something that was supposed to take only 24 hours. So that discouraged people. There was even a time you cannot get money into your domiciliary account because the government will vet it. You have to go and give account of how the money is coming and everything, the details. So now, all that you have said this evening is true and is what makes any business global. Getting money as at when due and paying out money. That is why I said, dealing with any country, you have to first of all find out what is obtained there, the mode of payment, and how it can be done. Because what obtains in one country does not obtain in another country. So that is it. That is my take on it. You've done well. God bless you for the enlightenment.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency, Reverend Paul Udimba. And I want to, we have Her Excellency Bishop Comfort out of Ghana. Your Excellency Bishop Comfort had some major challenges herself pertaining to working with the exchange. Your Excellency Bishop Comfort, share your thoughts on this evening's presentation, please, ma'am. Your Excellency, Dr. Comfort, are you with us? Okay, Dr. Comfort is speaking, but we're not able to hear her. Let's see if we do it. We got to refresh and we come back to Dr. Comfort. We're not hearing Dr. Comfort. I want to hear from you, Your Excellency Olukoya Olusegun. Your Excellency, you want to give your take on this evening's presentation?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Bishop Michael Steele. I also want to greet the management team and also all the excellencies in the house. and all our guests. My very short contribution is just to encourage every one of us to just do our best to so that we can get paid. The bottom line is for us to be able to get this done, we must be willing and ready to pay for it. And I think uh, paying for it, to get an expert to help us handle our website. And, once the website is being handled by an expert, it will take a lot of burden off our shoulders. And then the annual subscription and all of those things we need to keep doing, they will handle it because that's what they are being paid for. And it will go a long way to help us. Um, and just as we all know, we have an expert in the house who can offer us advice, and I think every other thing is is his own final decision, which is our mentor, Bishop Michael Steele. When it comes to anything IT. So I believe that you can get advice from him, and he's available to every one of us. But if you don't contact him, he will not know what you are going through. So I think that's just my take, on this. And we appreciate you for all that you have been doing, even for us in the class of Steel, exposing us day by day, and from time to time, posting a lot of things on our personal on our page and on our platform. And I think one of the things that we also need to do is that we should acknowledge. I don't know how we feel. Personally, I get a little upset when I send message to people and they don't acknowledge. So I can imagine, how Your Excellency will feel. So I think on our page, on our platform, when we see any post from him, we should duly acknowledge it, and I'm sure it will go a long way for him to be encouraged and to give us more of such postings that will help us in our personal dealings. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency Olukoya. Uh, I appreciate your submission, and I will be very honest with all of us. Thank Olukoya, you're such a gentleman, and the youth need someone like you in leadership. That's why you're in that position. One of the things that I have gotten accustomed to is I have over 400 plus persons that are on my WhatsApp, about 20 or 30 different groups and all of these persons. And the interesting thing is that you don't want to, I don't get worried about everybody saying, I've received it, I've acknowledged it. I no longer look for that. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'm just quiet about all the things that I do. That's why we're pushing to get the site in place so that I'm able to take my mind off of WhatsApp a little bit. But I want to appreciate you for you're always responding and letting us know where you're at. You're very conscientious. And I think that is actually our youth need, to be conscientious. A lot of young people and elderly, for example, they don't acknowledge and identify some of the smaller values that life has to offer. Small values, they're not big, and they go a long way. So thank you so very much for that acknowledgement. Definitely is appreciated. I want to, I'm going to get ready to close, but I want to ask Florence. Florence is going into a transition period. Your Excellency Florence, what is your take on this evening's class, and what has value has it added to you thus far? Your Excellency Florence Marembe. And Florence is out of Uganda. Your Excellency Florence, are you with us? speakers. Okay. Well, we have, I'm going to close this evening's class. Ambrose, do you want to lend your voice? I know that you don't have your camera on, but do you want to just give an opinion this evening, Ambrose? Okay. All right, Your Excellency, Bishop Comfort, you want to, I see you get back on. You want to try again to see if your network would give you a better breakthrough, Your Excellency Bishop Dr. Comfort? Okay, go ahead, Dr. Comfort. We can hear you. Go ahead. If you speak, I think we'll hear you, Dr. Comfort. If you speak, we'll hear you. All right. So with that being said, I want to appreciate all of you this evening. Those of you from Uganda and where it is early hours of the morning, those of you from different regions that is the early hours of the morning, some of you it's 12 o'clock, some is 1 o'clock in the morning. I want to appreciate you for letting the class of Steele be one of those places where you come and you learn, you grow, and you build within our community. I appreciate you so very much for your sacrifice. We are looking at what we're going to be doing for our youth. Olukoya, yourself and myself, we're going to need to start having some dialogue so we could put in place our youth program that is going to be starting very soon. And also, I will be doing other classes that are going to be at other hours during the day, conducive to those in Africa, that makes it a whole lot easier for you to engage when it is not in the midnight hours for you. So we're looking at doing that. At the moment, because we're global, we had to find a common ground where we come in the middle, and those individuals who are available will be able to join us. Persons in the West Coast are 8 hours behind me, and persons in some parts of Africa and different parts of the world are 8 hours ahead. So we just had to find a place of middle ground. So I want to thank you for finding your place in the class of Steele, and appreciate you for your sacrifice of time, and some of you, your rest. I want to sincerely appreciate you in the class of Steele. I love you dearly and hope that we in the class of Steele will continue to add value to you and what you're doing. We are preparing on tomorrow for those who are going to be doing the training with the peace ambassadors. That training arm that's starting tomorrow, and it's going to be for 6 weeks. That's the first section, and the follow-up section will be thereafter, where we will be continuing to mentoring and strengthening those individuals in the area of diplomacy and global relevance, currency, and all of the dynamics that are going to help them to be successful beyond just doing the normal ambassadorial training, chaplaincy training, or disaster management training, which is going to be packed within a 6 weeks period, which is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. till 7:30 p.m., which is on the Eastern Central Time. And that starts tomorrow. Also, we look forward to our training that is starting on Saturday, and it's free. There's no cost for it on Saturday. You're free to join us. We will send the link out and you can come and join. Send individuals to come in and hear all about networking. And I just have confirmation as well from out of Barbados, where we will be having a speaker coming from Barbados on Monday. So next Monday, we have a speaker from Barbados, Shane Marshall. He already came to the class of Steele, and he's very excited to come again and share on the subject. What you hear might not be what I said. And what I said might not be what you heard. So all about communicating. So next Monday, Shane Marshall will be in the class of Steele live and direct with us at our usual class time. I just want to also acknowledge His Excellency Donald Ewers, our Chief of Protocol. Please keep him, his family, and loved ones in our thoughts and in our prayers. I just received a message that his cousin, who was ailing with cancer, she has just passed away. As a matter of fact, he was with her this evening. When she was there this evening, he just got back home and he just got word that she had passed away. So we want to send our condolences to the family and loved ones of His Excellency Minister Donald Ewers and the family. And I will be keeping him in prayers and looking forward to seeing how I can be a strength of support to Minister Ewers at this very, very unfortunate time for his family. So with that being said, thank you so very much for being with us. The website is up and running, and fees and payments and everything can be done on our website officially. I will be putting up a donation button for anybody that wants to make any donations or contribution, or if you want to sponsor somebody else in the class of Steele, you will be free to do that. I'm His Excellency Dr. Michael Steele on the behalf of my beautiful wife, Jeannie, the management team, the Golden Eagle, Founding Fathers, our partners, Leaders Without Borders, Development Center, His Excellency Dr. Hillary Ema, and also Her Excellency Dr. Anita Davis before, and our other lifetime associates. Good night and God bless you. Bye-bye for now. The recording for this evening's class will be available for those who need it. It is going to be live. You can receive this evening's recording as well. It's live on YouTube.